that Cadillac hearse 4-wheel drive running and driving. Just not great. Alright everyone, so to start this episode off, we got to get this girl over to the shop so we can start on seeing what it's going to take to get her running. I think I got just the thing to get her moving. Alrighty, so as you can see on the motor here, it's like way down in this engine compartment. Looks like it doesn't have an engine from here. Yeah, look way down in there. So I guess for starters, should kind of clean it off a bit and pull the plugs, kind of maybe try and turn it over and see what we're looking at here. Alright, I don't know how much it matters, but we're gonna at least somewhat shove a rag down here so it doesn't get full of crap, hopefully. Just stuff that like, yeah, something like that, right? There we go. Perfect. Alright guys, so we're gonna throw a wrench on this here, or a ratchet I guess, breaker bar, and see if we can't spin her a little. Yeah, I can't get her by hand, so give this a try and see how it goes, I guess. Can't really get much of a good angle on this car with this lift thing on it. Oh. No, not that way. Moving just a hair, it seems like. Well, she's not budging that way. Looks like we're gonna have to try a different way. Man, I don't know if you guys could have seen it while I was using the air hose. Here's all the crap that blew out of that engine bay. And I swept right before I brought this in here, so that's all from that. Grimy. All right, let's grab our creeper and try and spin from the flywheel, I guess. This is the big model. Oh yeah. You know, gives you a nice layout of like the whole bottom of the car there. All right, we got, you know, a couple different flavors of pry bars here. So we'll see which one wants to, you know, tickle its taste buds. But we're gonna try and get one of these on the flywheel up here and see if we can't get her to spin. This tranny line's in my dang way. Just shove them over, you know, they'll be fine. Ooh, that's not wanting to spin that way, it seems like. Well, guys, she's not turning. Looks like we're gonna have to figure it out. Sauce up them cylinders or something. So for the next thing, I guess we gotta mix up some kind of sauce, put in them cylinders, you know? So, got a couple things here we're gonna throw down it and hope for the best, I guess. I don't really know. She's not happy though, so we'll go with a bit of white vinegar here for, you know, the rust. And do a little marble mystery, you know, that never hurts anything. Your engines like this stuff, so. Oh yeah, and you know, it separates real well too. You see the layers. Then of course, you know, little motor oil, because that's always good too. Yeah, you know. That's good right there, and bit of WD, because you know that's always good. You gotta lube up the cylinders. Oh, I guess not that much WD, because I'm pretty much out. Well, now I am out. And then bit of power steering, because you know, for that power, of course, you gotta have power in your concoction. Oh yeah. You can see it's just, God, it looks like Pepto for when your car's sick. Just dump some Pepto down the cylinders, she'll live. All right, so we're gonna shoot some Pepto down these cylinders and let it soak for a while, hope for the best. I guess we'll pull the valve covers, see if we got any sticky valves or anything, and kind of go from there. Oh man, this stuff smells like, kind of like Pepto, but with a lot more vinegar. Oh yeah, that one's just puking it out, so there we go, that's good. Oh yeah, see, she's already puking all kinds of stuff. Oh yeah, now she about looks like one of those, you know, chocolate covered cherries. All just puking Pepto. So, on to the other side. Man, this is quite the engine bay, I'll say that. One of the weirdest ones I've worked on. So, we're gonna get these valve covers off and make sure we don't have any sticky valves on this motor. And once we figure that out, then we'll see where we're at from there. What size are we here? Dang it, I was wrong. Try that guy. Oh yeah, that's better. Get a look under this one and have it kind of tell us how. Okay. Something's decided to fall. Alright, well, as you can see, I mean, pretty clean. Doesn't look bad. So that's a good sign, but obviously hasn't had oil up to it in a long time. So we're gonna get this, I'm gonna get this other valve cover pulled off, and then we'll see if we got any sticky valves here. All right, it's all unbolted here. Oh, nice. Pops easy. Oh. We'll pull easy. Oh. Yeah, I probably just got a ton of dirt down that, you know? That's what I wanted, though. All right. How's this side look? What's... Oh. Well, I guess somebody that gave it oil forgot to pull that out. But looks all clean through here too. And, you know, somebody put these nice hold downs on for the valve cover. So that's a positive. Can't beat that, of course. But we got both valves off, valve covers off. So now we're going to see what's sticking. All right, so before we start beating on these things, we're gonna just, you know, spray them down a little. Make sure they got at least something in there. All right, all sprayed down, and now we're gonna take our trusty mallet here and see if we find any hanging up. Well, so far they're seeming pretty good. Ooh, that one sounds stuck. Well, I mean, they're all pretty good. So, guess we'll give her a little bit of soak time and see how she does. All right, guys, well, oil's been soaking for, I don't know, half the day or something, a couple hours at least. So, made sure all the valves are not sticking up and everything. And I guess we'll try and give her a turn and see if she wants to spin now. Okay. Go from this side this time. Oh, we got a little something. Come on. Oh. It turned a little bit. It moved. That's positives. Oh. And move back. Oh, moved some more. She's moving, guys. Oh, man. Oh, buddy. Oh. Yeah, she's still turning. I haven't gotten showered in fluid, or Pepto, I should say, so. Of course, I think we're turning the motor over backwards. All right there, guys. Well, we got it to turn over by the actual flywheel itself. And so I'll show you guys real quick, kind of, if you could see it, but I know I'm right in front of it here. Yeah, see, there we go. That's exactly what we're wanting. Ooh, before I go busting my hand. So as you guys can see, it's turning over now. So we're making it somewhere. I mean, and you can see the concoction it puked out everywhere, which is just beautiful. I mean, got every shade of nasty in that. All that. You can see all the rust in the cylinder right there that came out too. So right now we got the battery over here on the charger. Once that charges up a little, we're gonna turn her over and see where we're at. All right, guys, she's still currently on the charger, but I'm gonna try and give her a turn. I think it still turns with the key, we'll see. But tell me if you see anything come out of them cylinders. Woo, she turns real quick. I mean, luckily it didn't get all over the camera here, but you know, here's something that shot out, which is just, I mean, that's just great. We'll just, ooh, yeah. But, so, I mean, it definitely got some crud out of there. We're gonna soak her down a couple times and, you know, try and get it all nice and lubed up in there. All right, so it looks like I don't have too much for lubricants right now, so I just got some oil and diesel mix, I guess. So we're gonna dump it down the cylinders and you know, just lube it up, make sure it's got at least something in there. I guess diesel's better than gas. Right, so this time I don't know if I'm gonna leave you guys directly in the firing arm here. I think we're gonna just move you guys like right there. Oh, you got a chain in your way. Wrap that out of the way. Okay. All right. You can tell me if anything comes out of there. I'm sure it will. Phew, it's just puking. Oh my goodness, you gotta look at this. Oh, look at all that rust. Just everywhere. Oh man, yeah. She definitely, she had rust in her. So, yeah, that's just great. But hey, getting all that crud out of there, aren't we? All right, so got those cylinders soaking for the second round now, and gonna let them sit for a little bit, actually kind of work into it a little more. The first time I just cranked it over right after I soaked them, and then we're gonna go from there. Maybe start cleaning up spark plugs I got here. They're not great, so either do that or, you know, I'll give them a good old wire brush brake clean job or something. And yeah, you know, keep chugging along. Well guys, one thing I totally spaced to do was disconnect the fuel line before, you know, I go turning the motor over 100 times. So, you know, we'll do that now. Just, yeah, we'll do that now. Don't know what I was thinking there. I don't know. I wasn't, I guess. That's what my dad would say. Looks like we didn't suck anything up yet, so that's a positive. Yeah, we're gonna get that disconnected, and I got a couple lines here salvaged off of a old RV, so we'll try and see what we can do. All right, guys, let's shoot the rest of that crap out of them cylinders and then start on them spark plugs and go from there, you know? I think that should have cleaned them out pretty good. And as you guys can see, our beautiful puddle here just is drenched just about the whole thing by now. But, you know, lots and lots of nasty crud in those cylinders. Yeah, definitely, it sprayed just about everything. Could put some headers out the, you know, fenders like this. All right, guys, so let's get these spark plugs cleaned up a little bit, you know? At least do something for them. Make them a little better, I guess. Just put our wire brush right there. I know the lighting's not the greatest right now. It's getting later in the day, so. Hit these with the wire brush here. A little brake clean and good. That's good enough for me at least. Alright, got all 8 of those clean, and now we'll get those back in the motor, get it all kind of back together, and see if we can at least fire it up before we get out of here tonight. Alright, so we're going to get these spark plugs in. You know, they're not great, but they're better than how they were, and then fix the gaps to the best. I don't have a gapper on me or nothing, but we're going to get these all in here and, you know, get the spark plug wires on and try and bark her off tonight. So start getting these all together. And I will say, for spark plugs, I mean, fender wells, way to go on that, but other than that, I don't agree with this body lift. And as you can kind of see, I already got the valve covers back on here. Sorry I didn't get that in, but I poured a little oil on each valve there before I put them on, just, you know, so before she pumps up oil, she gets a little lubrications to her. Alright, get a wrench on these real quick and, well, not a wrench. We're going to use the torque wrench that I used earlier because I don't even have a spark plug socket, so be careful, don't break them. And I don't recommend anybody does what I do or anything like that. Just fair warning. Don't listen to the things I say on this. I'm just having a good time. Before we get all these torqued down, we're going to leave one out so we can check our spark real quick and see if we even have any on there. So that'll really determine if it's going to fire. Alright, we got all those torqued in. Slap on the spark plugs in the order I think they go. I don't really remember, so we'll see. And I mean, I could go through, check the timing, all that right now, but honestly, it's getting late in the day. I'm hungry. My dogs are hungry. You know, we want to get home still, so I'm just trying to fire her up before we have to go, and then tomorrow we can get right back at it and check everything else. Here, you guys can tell me if I got spark or if I blow up. Yes, I know I'm not very safe about things. Alright, you guys tell me if it's got spark, because I gotta turn it over in the car. Alright, so got all the spark plugs in, all the spark plug wires done. This one, junk. Bad. So we're gonna pour a little liquid gold down her, and I guess we'll see if she barks off real quick or if anything happens, because I don't know if you could tell, but we're actually losing light real fast. Alright guys, got a little 2-stroke here, you know. Keep them cylinders and everything all lubricated, and we'll see if she barks off. And what a pain to get up on this thing. Like, I've worked on some tall trucks and vehicles, but this one's just kind of, you gotta like lunge yourself up in the hood. It's kind of nonsense, but you know what we do for the projects we love. Not that much drink. That was a lot of drink. She didn't seem to like the gasoline, so. Try a little bit of brake clean. You know, she is just not sounding like she just wants to kick. We're gonna run a 12-volt wire from the battery, or from the distributor to the battery, to try and make it kick better, I guess. Alright guys, got a wire ran straight from the distributor to the battery. I'm sure now you can see we're really losing light. We're gonna connect it to the battery, give her a little shot of something again, and see if it fires off real quick. Man, she really seems like she wants it. Can't say that's the best fire up I've had, but it started. Well guys, I know that's not exactly what we hoped for, and it doesn't sound great, but at least it fired up tonight. See you back here first thing in the morning, and we'll actually see if we can get her running and driving. Alright guys, we're back this morning, and here she is. Obviously it didn't get done overnight like I hoped, but oh well. So today it's kind of windy. I mean, you might not hear it this second, but I'm sure throughout this you're going to hear it a couple times today. So one thing I came across this morning that I didn't realize last night when we were, you know, standing there working on this thing and got the first fire up. Totally forgot to put that spark plug back in on the one that we were testing spark on. So that's why it ran probably like such crap, is because it was missing a whole spark plug. So it was missing a whole cylinder. But we're back today and gonna get that spark plug in, gonna do a couple little things, maybe pour a little fuel down it. I brought about 1 gallon of gas for it, so we're gonna see where we get, but we're gonna try and at least get her good enough to take her for a drive today. And if the wind continues like this, we'll get her pushed back into the shop, or maybe get her fired up long enough to drive it backwards into the shop. That'd be cool, but we'll see. Here comes the wind. I'm sure you're hearing it, so get back with you in a minute. Decided to get the battery back on the charger. I'm sure you heard that in the last part of this video on just being so loud. Thing is super annoying. It runs like a McCulloch chainsaw, honestly. It just, it doesn't shut up. But right now, battery on the charger, gonna get a little fuel downer. I already reran a line from the fuel pump, so we'll test that too, see if it's working when we get it to fire up here, and then kind of go from there. We'll see what happens here. And I got the fuel line from the fuel pump there in a little can of gas, so we're gonna see if we can't get her to fire up at least a little better of a first run than last night, because that was just terrible. We're not even gonna call that a first run. That was it kicking over. Well, now that we got that carburetor dripping from everywhere, dumped it all over the thing, so that should work. Use the clamp to clamp that. See what happens. That's weird, just lost the whole key switch. Well, there we go. That's a little better of a first start in my book. She's already smoking a little bit and stuff like that. Runs pretty rough, obviously, but way too quiet in my book. We need to do something about that, because this big monster, I mean, it needs to be loud, right? Get us a fuel tank going here. Damn. That ain't going nowhere. There we go. There's our fuel tank, and pour a little gas down her again, see if we can't get her to idle long enough to go backwards so we can get in the shop and get out of the weather. You guys might be able to hear me better. Alright, got the carb filled, everything, it's off the charger. Let's see if she'll run long enough to back up, or if the tranny even works for that matter. And hopefully don't run anything over. I haven't even checked the brakes on this car. Well, hey, that's a positive. We got reversed and it backed up, so we're winning. All right, guys, so now we're in the shop here, and I know the lighting's kind of bad. There ain't good lights in this shop. So right now, gonna try and fire it back off real quick. See, you know, we're trying to get fuel to the carb from the actual fuel pump. So give it a go again and see what happens. Just doesn't seem like we're pulling any fuel still, you know? It's running, but it's just not getting there. Or maybe we're clogged in the carburetor. I don't know yet. We'll take a little more of a look into it. Well, I guess we'll just spray some fluid at it and see if we'll get her to start pumping or something, because I can't really tell unless I start cracking some lines. Well, guys, she just is not pumping up fuel, so I guess we gotta look and see if that fuel pump's bad, or maybe since I forgot to disconnect it in the first place, it might have pulled a bunch of junk into it, so we'll look into it. All right, guys, let's do something about that stock suburban exhaust, because I can't, it's too quiet for me, so I'm gonna cut on this and try, I guess. All I got's a cutoff wheel today, so prefer a Sawzall, but work with what you got. You can accomplish anything with motivation. At least 10 pounds of weight reduction right there. Now she's gonna be a racing hearse. Well, I think that's all the use we're gonna get out of that die grinder blade. She's pretty gone. But we got both the mufflers off here, as you can see them, kind of right there. So, let's see how she sounds. Definitely beefier. Yeah, she definitely has a little more tone to her now, but honestly, guys, I'm not gonna leave it like that. I've got mufflers for it, just too quiet. I can barely hear the thing run, you know, and I need to be able to know I'm still driving. So now on to the big problem here. Fuel. You need to get fuel to that carburetor in order to go for a drive. I mean, that's what we're all looking for here right now. So we're gonna get that fuel pump to start pumping some gas, or put a clicky clacker fuel pump electric doodad in there. One or the other, we'll figure it out. And see if we can't take it for a drive today. That's what I want to do. All right, guys, so I had to steal my electric fuel pump off of the car that I drove here in, actually. So my daily hearse. And we're gonna borrow to put on this, and you know, found some clampy cables here off an old junk battery charger, and we're gonna connect those together and run our little fuel system we're building here and try and see if we can get fuel up to that carburetor and she'll run for more than a minute. All right, let's see what happens. Where did my damn wire crimper cutters go? Don't you love that? I think we all do it. You set something down and then poof, disappears into thin air like Houdini jacked it from you. I'm not going for anything pretty right now, you know. We're getting her running and driving real quick, and then that's when we can actually start a real extensive work on this, because it's gonna need it. I already know. We just want to make sure she at least drives, because, you know, I'm at least wondering. Sure, you know, if anybody is still watching by now, then I'm sure you're wondering. It obviously runs, but will it drive and maybe do like a Bernie or a Brody, a burnout or a Brody, you know? Hopefully. We'll see on that one. That's putting some high hopes out there. I'll just say that right now. She is not no speed demon or anything like that. At least from starting it up and backing it up, backfiring about 5 times before, you know, made it backwards. All right, fuel lines on there for the most part. I'm not gonna make it perfect or cut up the lines I got because I don't have a lot of fuel line around. And by the way, this is totally budget, this whole thing. So far I have nothing into getting it running other than buying some white vinegar and gas. So I already had the battery just laying around. All right, well, we got those. I'm gonna throw some tape on them just to be careful, more careful. And we're gonna get the fuel system all put together right there, and then we'll see if she fires up and I can actually rev her up. Sure, you guys can just hear that wind whipping away outside. It's been great. All right, there we go. She's all together there, and I'll show you real quick. Okay, there is our fuel system. We got about a gallon of gas, our little electric fuel pump, and here's the other cable there with nice little clamps, make it easy. And the negative's already connected. So now we got, connect that, make sure we're getting something up to the carburetor, and then couple other little things before we try and take her for a drive. We'll see. I also need to fill up the radiator, so that's another thing that has to get done. But let's see if this thing pumps up to the carburetor here. Okay guys, I'm gonna try and throw some water in the radiator. I don't have any radiator fluid. Seems like this whole episode's on what I don't have, but gonna just fill it up with some water for now. Make sure it doesn't overheat while we're, you know, cruising around the neighborhood or anything. So we'll just stick some water in there, and worst case, you know, if there's nothing and it's bone dry or blowing a freeze plug or something, then we'll get that fixed before we go throwing a bunch of expensive antifreeze in there. So Let's see if she just starts dumping all over the floor, I guess. All right, I think she's all filled up and looks good underneath. So get that radiator cap back on there and let's fire her up. Let's see if she'll actually run for a minute. Try and burn all that crud we put all over the exhaust whenever we were cleaning this rust out. You know? So let's get the radiator cap, and I already checked the oil. Oil looks fine. It's actually pretty good. And I think that's connect the fuel pump and try and fire her off again. Well, I mean, she definitely needs a new radiator cap. I don't know if you can see it. Whole top seal's gone. It's, unless that's how it is on this old one, I don't know. But I'm still there. So we're gonna run it for now. I don't have any reason to throw a brand new radiator cap on this when in reality it really needs a radiator too. This whole top piece is like busted. Okay. Alrighty, let's connect up our distributor to distribute the power to the cylinders. And connect our pumpulator. See what happens. Oh man, is she pouring smoke off of every which way and orifice and everything. Holy crap, look at this shop. It is just... Probably should have opened the door. That's okay. And you can see, she just... Oh, I hear something hissing. What's hissing? What's boiling? Ooh, hear all that gunk that we've been boiling out of this thing? She probably needs to run a little more, but there you go. There's a little better view. It's covered in oil and crud, and really need to honestly power wash the thing, but I'm not that concerned, you know? So, a couple things we got to accomplish now before we go trying to drive it. Any vacuum leaks, because we busted a couple hoses and crap, so we're going to figure out those vacuum leaks, make sure that's all good, and that should make it run a little cleaner, and then we're going to go from there. All right, guys, so I think we're all ready to take it for the first drive. Here's that fuel system I already kind of showed you. I haven't really done much in the engine bay. So this red wire here, that goes to the distributor, and we fixed the vacuum leaks we had. Just got our choke wide open there, and then adjusted the throttle linkage here a little bit. You can see this gorgeous piece of wire. So now we should really be able to go full throttle and just pray it doesn't get stuck. And then here's the old mufflers that we cut off, you know. So they are just, as you can see, cherry. Oh, thought that said Chevrolet. It says avoid keeping them on. All right, well, we're gonna clear the crud out of in front of the car here, make old tanker dog move, and then we're gonna take this thing for a quick drive, see if it makes it down the road. right, guys. Well, see if she'll fire up again. There it goes. This does not ride like a Caddy, that's for sure. Oh, and she doesn't brake good. She doesn't have much for brakes at all. Let's see how we're looking on gas real quick. This idle's so high. Oh man, she's just eating gas. We're not gonna take it for a long drive. All right, real quick around the block. Well, there she is. I know I can't get a good video of anything. Pretty gutless. Oh, still no brakes. Shifter stuck. No burnout. Man, that shifter definitely didn't do a good job making that. Well, there she is, guys. Now she's about to explode. Alright guys, I hope you can hear me. The wind's really picking up now, but there it is. Parked back next to the old pickup. We got her running and we took her for a drive, and you know, next episode we'll probably drive it a little more, get it a little more roadworthy than what it is. I'm running out of time. It's the end of my weekend. Here she is. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, share, do whatever you do. And you know, until next time, thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time on Wrecks and Wrenches.